lightsaber used to mean something. It used to be cool. If I was holding one, I'd go zip zap zop, and I thought I was the coolest son of a bitch out there. Now the lightsaber is, in a lot of fans' perspectives, a joke. Disney has definitely underpowered the lightsaber, and, along with that, underpowered the use of stabbing someone all the way through. Now, I'm not gonna just sit here and complain about this whole thing. I'm actually gonna tell you why I feel this way, why a lot of fans feel this way, and why I disagree with a lot of fans' views. Yes, I changed my shirt because I didn't realize a little baby had wiped her precious findings all over my previous shirt. Now, a lot of the arguments against this whole stabbing people through come for Darth Maul, and people are like, why did Qui-Gon not survive, but Darth Maul survived? I found this little gem of a YouTube short today that I didn't even realize it just kind of came across my feed right before I was gonna record this. Thanks, YouTube, for knowing exactly what I needed. Now, this video is by Michael J. You can find him on YouTube. And basically, it was talking about how stabbing someone through can be done the right way. So with Darth Maul, he was sliced in half and thrown into a reactor core, and he survived through his immense hatred, and he essentially lost his mind and turned into this kind of spider amalgamation of just pure hate. And they created a whole story of him finding himself again and him getting a new pair of legs and finding what his motivations are and everything. And this took like 10 years to make. And this is a good example of what to do right with a stab, right? Or I guess a slice in half. With Qui-Gon Jinn, he got stabbed. He just died. Right then and there, basically. And yeah, I could see why that can be a little weird for some fans. But in my own little theory, I feel like the Force was like, Qui-Gon, you got your time. I'm not done with you, Darth Maul. I'm not done with you. And then Disney has this whole thing where you just get stabbed and you don't die. And this has happened in The Rise of Skywalker, Ashoka, and Obi-Wan. Most of those were just kind of nonsense. It was never exactly explained how Reva survived her stab wound. There's been a lot of theories that like, oh, she was so angry and vengeful that she wanted to do it. Like, kind of like how Darth Maul was. So she willed her way through it. But it wasn't really as good as Darth Maul, obviously. Darth Maul took 10 years to do his whole saga. Reva took a couple minutes. Yeah, it does not make sense. I don't personally find that one very effective, and I think we could have gone without that scene, honestly. Maybe, like, she gets, like, stabbed, not directly in the middle, but, like, on the side, or he incapacitates her, chokes her. That's not what they did. They decided to make her get stabbed. Now in The Rise of Skywalker, I keep forgetting the name. That's how much that means to me, honestly. I know The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, but I always forget The Rise of Skywalker. But in The Rise of Skywalker, Rey stabs Kylo Ren through, right? And she heals him. It doesn't make sense because, okay, yes, you can heal people through the Force, but where did she learn that exactly? She kind of learned it before in the movie. They kind of dabbled in it from what I remember. I have not watched that movie since it came out, so it's been a long time. But she didn't really do much with that, did she? She healed like this insect thing, and she suddenly kind of knew how to heal. It doesn't really make sense. Kind of like how she's so powerful with the Force. That whole thing is just, it doesn't make sense exactly to me. I wish they did a lot more with that, where, oh, maybe in The Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker shows her how to heal. Maybe even, like, for whatever reason, Leia knew how to freaking heal, and she was using that to her advantage. That would make sense for how she fucking willed her way onto the spaceship again, you know? But they don't explain that. So it doesn't make sense. Kylo Ren didn't die. There's like several almost deaths in that movie. It was not really enjoyable for those periods. Now in Ahsoka, people are complaining about the stab again. And yes, it's been way overused. From my understanding, it's been used 10 times throughout the whole franchise, and most of those are recent. Spoilers for if you have not seen Ahsoka. Just tiny spoilers. But I'm not gonna spoil the plot. It's just something that happens. Sabine gets stabbed, right? And she survives. But she doesn't get stabbed directly through, not like Kylo did, not like Reva did, not like Qui-Gon did. And she survives. She gets stabbed like... So this is where they all got stabbed. This is where Sabine got stabbed. Right? This is where Sabine got stabbed. People are complaining about that. I understand. I understand why they're complaining about that. But it makes sense why she got stabbed. I'm very glad that Dave Filoni decided to change the position of the stab, because then it would become, in my opinion, if you get stabbed in the general area where Qui-Gon, Reva, and Kylo did, they should have died. Maybe not Kylo, because I guess he was healed, but Reva should have died, because it stabs directly through your spine, making you paralyzed from the legs down, and messes up major internal organs depending on where you're stabbed. And yeah, Sabine's internal organs would have been messed up too. On to another part of this whole Disney ruining lightsabers argument. The choreography in a lot of the movies and TV shows has definitely not been as good as the prequels choreography. And I'm not talking about Ashoka. Ahsoka's has been really good right now. So far, it's been really, really good and spot on for all the choreography with the lightsabers. It feels like Revenge of the Sith's choreography. And I'm not really talking about like the original trilogy, just because there wasn't a lot of fast-paced lightsaber duels in that series. So I'm mostly just taking from the sequels and prequels and maybe some offshoot movies and TV shows. I really did like the Obi-Wan fighting, but there was some parts where that could probably been taken out, made it kind of like, what? The whole Obi-Wan thing could have probably been turned into just a movie like they were planning, and it would have been fine. It would have been better than it was. Apparently a fan remade the whole thing into a movie. I want to see that actually. A lot of the choreography in the sequels is very slow. It's a lot slower, and it doesn't feel as authentic as specifically Revenge of the Sith did. The specific scene I'm talking about is the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin. That was amazing. You could see the intense hatred that Anakin had. You could see it in his fighting. You could see it in his acting. You could see it in everything. And you could see how Obi-Wan was reacting, how he was angry and sad. And you could see that in their fighting, and you don't really see that in The Rise of Skywalker. It's not as good. If I forgot about something, let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys would like to see another video like this, click right here. And I will see you later.